Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another Mac Merlin stream. As Mordecai in chat is stating, we are doing it a little bit early, but not really early, just a normal time, simply because temperatures here have subsided a bit, and I can do this again at around 7 p.m. I see a DJ Ben coming in as well. Thank you for your support. As you guys can see from the stream title down below, we are building the Aeroboard 70. If you guys want to get a direct link to that board, make sure you execute the build command like in chat. Basically, it's just a Geek Hack page, but this is the Aeroboard 70. Check it out. What's unique about this board? Well, the whole reason why I'm interested in this board is because many months ago I built a Tsukuyomi, and I really liked the 65% form factor with macro keys on the left. So I've kind of been like low-key looking for another one. And lo and behold, this is the Aeroboard 70. As you can see, it is an interesting layout. It's got no windows or GUI keys. So that's the only thing that I'm a little bit upset about. But the rest of the board looks wonderful. Look, it's even got split spacebar support. I thought about doing split spacebar support on tonight's build, but I've just never liked that look. Like, I find it extremely useful, but I've just never liked that aesthetic, you know? And again, it's a hot swap build, so if I do change my mind later on, I can go back to it. But yeah, look at this gasket mounting structure right here. Many little gaskets surrounding the entire board. Let's see, Comrade says, been taking a break from keyboards and focusing on cameras instead. That is a great hobby. So yeah, definitely take some time to do that too. A very interestingly designed board. Looks like it's gotten its inspiration from the DeLorean from Back to the Future, and from that's a TIE fighter, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know too many of my Star Wars airplanes and the spaceships. Let's see, and Corsair RAM, interesting. And I don't know what this is. Lego police vehicle of sorts. Yeah, that's what the board looks like. And I did get a silver unit, and I finally found my EPBT timeless set, so that's what I'll be putting on this as well. Apparently they call this a plate leaf, PCB leaf mount. TIE Advanced Fighter, there we go, that's it. That's it. Look at that. This board does come with PE foam. The last couple boards that I built all had PE foam, and a couple of you mentioned to me that they all started to sound very similar, which I agree with, and I do like that sound. So we're gonna change it up. For this build, we are not going to be using any PE foam, but we will still have case foam. This is what the board will look like eventually. Check it out. But yeah, let's get to it. Yeah, I love how it came in a case like that. Very well packaged. To that AE board, or Aeroboard 65 plus 5 equals 70. That's funny. It's got a build guide of sorts. It's got all the gaskets, which kind of fell off when you pull things apart there. Even more gaskets there. So yeah, these are different weights, 50 and 4, or different stiffnesses. Stiffnesses, what's the plural form of stiffness? And of course you've got the build guide right here. You have tools as well. Looks like they sent me an FR4 plate. And of course all the foams, right? Like I said, we will not be using the PE foam. We'll just be using, but we will be using case foam. Case foam and plate foam and all that. Just because I do want to keep things relatively how they expect you to build it, right? And looks like they've got several stickers of sorts and the ribbon cables. So unfortunately, it's not your C3 or C4 AIO3 designed daughter board, but you know, it is what it is. This almost looks like it's either a sticker that goes on the bottom or something that goes on the PCB, because there are cutouts over here for where the daughter board goes in. And there is the board right there. Oh, looks like I got the black one, black and silver instead of the gold and silver. Today's switch choice is going to be TechC Diamond Linears. This is a UHM WP top with a PC bottom and a 2-stage spring. Let's take a look at the PCB really quick. It is using a ARM microcontroller of sorts. All of the hot swap sockets are Kale, and you can see that the flex cuts run both horizontally and vertically, almost per switch on the alpha rows. Look at that. And daughter board connector is right over there, so that would come out on the left as follows. So yeah, step 1. Stacking of layers as shown. Install the switches and stabilizer. Perfect. Like I said, we are going to omit the IXPE. Assembly step 2. Use double-sided adhesive tape to the back of PCB. The recommended location is shown in the picture. Interesting. So you put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. This is for the tape mod, I believe. And then put 2mm pour-on double-sided adhesive tape on PCB. So it's not for the tape mod, it's for the pour-on adhesive tape. Interesting. So I'm actually not going to follow that all that well, because when you're putting in switches into hot swap sockets, you need to look at the back to see if the switch actually goes through. And if I do the tape mod right away, I'm not going to be able to verify that other than, you know, at the end of the build when I'm testing everything. So I'm going to skip that for now and just do that at the end. Choose the hardness of the silicon support block in PCB or plate leaf. You know, this is probably the most well done build guide I've seen, like in terms of presentation, you know. It is recommended to lift up the upper shell to prevent the 2 pieces of glass. Ooh, glass, okay. Because that's for the RGB. Place the short circuit protection pour-on pad, cool. This step cannot be omitted. I love how they put that down there. Pull up a portion of the FPC cable link to socket on the PCB. Pull socket switch back to ensure cable is pressed tight. Okay, I think that's gonna be the most difficult part for me, just because me and cables don't really align too well. Alright, let's get this party started. And like I said, TechC Diamonds. Why TechC Diamonds? I realized that I've had them for quite some time, and I do like their sound signature. So figured, why not use them? I am due to buy another batch of switches. Like, I swear to you guys, every month there's like a million switches coming out. So it's like if you don't use switches very often, by the time you use them, you'll be like, wait a second, my switches are so outdated. Oh geez, that just does not. Oh man. Because of all these flex cuts, holy crap, it's not really clipping in like I thought it would. Not. Wow, okay, hold on. Before I do this, let me actually make sure that it fits. That it actually fits into this plate, just because TechC switches are known to be a little larger than even like JWK and all that. So this might actually change. It is actually a bit tight fitting, but it's not bad. Let's just use it. Let's just use it. So I really want to use these guys. Me still using ZealPCs. Nothing wrong with those. Those were one of my favorite switches. I used Telios for a lot of builds back in the day. I think Telios were one of the switches that convinced me to go linear. Speaking of outdated switches, I haven't even tried tangerines and lavender switches, but I feel like I'm out of touch if I buy them now. I know, right? It's so like, dude, it's seriously just like all in your head though. They're definitely still available, just guess people will be like, oh, buy newer switches. Yeah, exactly. Don't believe the hype, just buy what you want. Buy what's in your budget. But definitely be aware of what's out there, you know? Why won't you clip in? Everything else on the unit is like perfect. That's good, that's good. Yeah, I know there are many who were not as fortunate, myself included. Can you build this plateless? I think so, because there are parts of the PCB where the gasket can still go on. And here, let me show you. There's an image earlier on in the stream which I showed off. Here we go. Here it is. See that? Look at this. You can do plate leaf or PCB leaf. We're gonna do plate leaf. There we go. Clipped in, just like that. Okay, good. Everything looks like it's in place. Fingers crossed. That is good. All right, let us consult the manual. We're gonna put on the Tempest tape foam. Or, there we go. Use double-sided adhesive tape to the back of the PCB. The recommended location is shown in the picture. Okay. Here. Good thing you don't have to cut them yourself, because if I had to cut them myself, I would be like, screw it, let's not do that. They have kindly provided some 3M tape as follows. Double-sided. I do have a concern about this. If any of you guys have used double-sided tape before, you know that this is super sticky. You know, so if you ever like try to take apart this board in the future, for example, if you're trying to verify that the switches, like the switch legs went through all your hot swaps, it's not going to be fun tearing off the back. So I'm just kind of like, do I really want to do this right now? Do I really want to do this right now? Let's see. So after you put on the double-sided tape, you then put on the 2mm Poron. Some designers give too many options for users. Like, I think that's good for like a hobby that's very diverse and has like lots of different customization abilities. I think that's actually very good, but at the same time, like psychologically speaking, I've read that the more options that you have, the least confident you become of the decision that you chose. So I'm sure that applies to keyboards as well. As you guys saw for the last 15 minutes, I was like, what should I do? I don't know. You know, and it's not like I'm a keyboard noob. Like I like to believe I know what I'm doing. Okay, what's next? After putting on all of the gaskets, stick 2 long silicone foot pads. Loosen the 8 screws at... Okay, so we can actually take apart the board now. There we go. Oh, look at that. They've even got the foam in there. Look at that, guys. And look, there's glass over here for the RGB, and it's got like a film strip on it. And you guys know that I don't like peeling these things, so I'm gonna leave it on. I'm gonna leave it on. Very nice. Clackbait, long time no see. They sent you silver. They sent me silver. I was hoping for like the gold on top, because I think gold and silver look really good. But black is nice too. That's more like a charcoal sort of thing. Okay, they say to put the feet on, but the feet are already on because they put it on for me apparently. So what's next after putting on the feet? Stick 2 long silicone foot pad, loosen the 8 screws at the bottom. Okay, let's loosen the 8 screws at the bottom. Okay, they say to take off the top because the 2 glass pieces will fall out. You want to go visit Tiny Shop? But that's the 6 hour. Yeah. Okay, the top comes off like so. And do I actually have to take off the glass pieces? Just lift up the upper shell to prevent the 2 pieces of glass falling off. So you don't need to remove the 2 pieces of glass. Place the short circuit protection pour-on pad. Okay. Step 9. Pull up a portion of FPC cable link to socket on the PCB. Pull socket switch back to ensure cable is pressed tight. Okay. I'm gonna say that sucks in terms of how that's diagrammed out. That doesn't show how the cable actually goes in, and I'm pretty sure many people are gonna mess that up. Here, let me show you guys. That just says the cable goes into that hole. How it goes in, which direction, doesn't tell you at all. Honestly, I don't know how to put it in. Does it go in where the black part is? I don't know. I hate ribbon cables for that reason. It's not very clear as to what goes where. Oh, look at that. They have it taped down too. I'm gonna take off the tape just to give me a little bit more slack. Does anyone in chat happen to know what advantages a ribbon cable might have over the AIO3 daughter board? Thinner? Okay, yeah, I could see that being. Okay, I really don't know which way this is gonna go in, but hopefully we won't have a smoky stream. Hopefully we won't let the magic smoke out. But if it does happen, you guys saw it first here on MacMerlin. It's just one of your magic tricks. World premiere. Watch Merlin let the magic smoke out of a Aeroboard 70. I don't get which hole it needs to go into. Actually, no, that's not a hole. At least that's the plan for now. Okay. Alright, hopefully I put it in correctly. If I did not put it in correctly, we will have some pyrotechnics tonight. Which is all part of the show, guys. The worst case scenario, you see me with a mask. Yeah. Okay, so technically speaking, everything should be connected on the back, so I can probably test the board right now. Merlin of the Opera. Wizard of the Opera, actually. Alright guys, I'm gonna plug it in, and if the stream goes down, you guys know what happened. Okay, here goes. I'm actually kind of worried. Here we go, guys. Oh, hey, look, it turned on. See, I told you guys, I'm an overthinker. I'm an overthinker, always second guessing myself. That red is actually fire. Oh no, everything's burning. Everything's burning. Okay, hold on. I think I put the wrong gaskets on, now that I'm looking at it. There are different sized gaskets. Okay, so there are the much taller gaskets, which I think are meant for the PCB, and the much shorter one, which are meant for plate. So this is what I need. Let's see how it turns out first before I do any more of the mods. Okay, so what I'm doing here is there is a strip of plastic on the glass, and if I put the top on at a bad angle, it actually strips off the plastic. Man, that's actually harder to do than I thought. Maybe I should just peel it. Yeah, I'll just peel it. Guys, this is a Merlin first. Merlin is peeling the plastic off. There we go. The plastic has been peeled. I will keep the plastic on this guy though. Mordecai says, hey, it's in Pasadena. When do ticks go on sale? I might actually go. They've already gone on sale. Alright. The board is done. And once again, I did not put the foams in. This board has no foam, other than for the PCB protecting foam, so it doesn't like short on itself. Alright, so I said I was going to put ePVT Timeless on it. If you guys remember, this is the set that looks really similar to GMK Maestro. Except a little bit more muted. There we go. See that? So I think this is going to look really good on a silver and black board. There it is. Not a bad color scheme, especially with the black and silver. That actually looks really darn good. Here, check that out, guys. Pretty good looking. Here, let me do one for the YouTube. Lube Switches says, that is hot. No you. There we go. Oh yeah, side profile. Look at that. Looks really darn good. And there's the glass piece right there. Yeah, I know. This is a very good looking board. Taste test one more time. So here's the thing, the RGB is in the back, so you don't really see it unless you lift it up like that. Okay, let's clean up a bit, and we can do an official typing sounds test. Here we go. Once again, this is the Aeroboard 70, which you guys can check out all the info on by executing the build command and clicking on that Keycap link. It is built with an FR4 plate with the gaskets on the plate itself, and it is running what did I call these? These were Texi Diamonds and topped with EPBT Timeless. Only has plate foam on it. I have omitted the IXPE and the case foam and the what they like to call the Echo sticker. And here we go. Yeah, I actually like how it sounds. I like how that sounds a lot. It does sound a little bit more muted than I would prefer, but as it is right now, it sounds pretty darn good. See, Mordecai says, those are my kinds of sound. There we go. Cosmic says, found you from porting with ports. There we go. Old Mr. Krabs. Frank, I love the muted dock. Earlier, I did mention I wanted to tape mod it to tape up the flex cuts, but I think this is actually a pretty decent sound for me. I like how it sounds. Though I know that if I put the tape mod on, it will sound even better. But as usual, I like to give a board more than a 20-minute test, you know? Like, I'll probably type on this for the next week before I even try modifying it some more. Because right now, this is pretty darn interesting to me. AC Fun 24-hour scene. So it's not an issue with the AC, because like I could bring like an AC in here, but then the sound would just like, all I have is like a mobile AC and it's really, really loud. I keep that in the living room, and the reason being is because my cats are in the living room. Those two cats are more important than my entire keyboard collection. So yeah, we'll definitely keep them as comfortable as I can. 24 hours if he survives the heat, dude. But yeah, I quite like how this board feels. One thing about boards, about 665s that have a macro key, or pretty much any board that has a macro column to the left, I'm so used to reaching to the left end of the board to hit my escape key. So I'm not sure if you guys noticed earlier, but at the start of the typing test, I tried to hit my escape key, but I pressed F1. Yeah, that's already something that I'm going to have to get used to. But as it is right now, this feels and sounds pretty decent. I might actually put artisans on this. I do have some random artisans lying around, and I'll put them here. From what I've been told, that's what a lot of people use this row for. It's not really, they don't use it for too much. If you were here from the very beginning, you know that this board comes with so many options. You can put different stiffness gaskets, you can put plate and PCB gaskets combined, you know, and there's so many ways to build this, with foam, without foam. Let's not even include switches and the type of keycaps, right? So with that many options, you can get more confused, but thankfully I built it in a way that I like it. So far I quite like this. Let's go look at that RGB really quick. See, right there. See that? It's pretty decent. So now let's do the front view for HR Toby. Let's hide my face so it focuses properly. No, it's not focusing. There we go. I tend to prefer stiffer boards, which is why I don't like flex cuts on PCBs or on plates. Of course, there's only a certain amount of stiffness I can handle. I won't go for brass plates or stainless steel plates, unless it's a Bakaneko build, actually. Yeah, this is a gorgeous board. I'm gonna look forward to typing on this a lot. My only real qualm with the board, like, I love the different options. My only real qualm is the usage of a ribbon cable and a what looks to be a non-standard daughter board. It didn't even look like it had any sorts of protection on it, such as ESD, voltage, overcurrent, which is prevalent on the AI03 design C3 and C4 daughter boards. You know, that's really like my only issue about that. Don't forget the double. Oh yeah, so I'm factoring all of that under, you know, you can modify it however you want. It's up to you if you want to build it the way that they suggested. But if it's your board, you bought it with your own money, you build it how you think best, right? I will be rebuilding this board just for experimentation. I am not going to be using their version of a tape mod. I'm going to use the tried and true blue painter's tape method. Just because, number one, this is easier to remove than double-sided tape. So yeah, you guys should check this board out. Let's see, I only put in the Geekhack page, but let's find where let's give you guys a list of places to buy this. This is an in-stock sale, if I'm remembering correctly. I think if you're looking at like aesthetics, this is a very beautiful board. If you're looking at like the quality of the manufacturing, this is top-notch as well. The sheer number of ways you can customize this board is number one confusing, of course, but like earlier we were discussing that psychologically, human beings, if you're given a lot of opinions or like a lot of options, people tend to not be as confident in that decision. Like there were studies done on this topic and that's what happens. But I also think because of our hobby in general, the number of customizations we can do, I think that this is actually a strength. But if you're worried about like the sound, if you're worried about how it feels, I literally just winged this when I built it, and I came up with a good sound and a good feel. Imagine if you actually tried A/B comparison and all that, you know? But yeah, I'm actually quite happy with how this board turned out. Machining is expensive, especially for smaller MLQ keyboards with extensive cuts and shapes. Always some level of self-doubt, absolutely. I thought it had a great sound as Mordecai. I agree with you on that. Brands like QK and Melotrix produce thousands in MLQ to help justify their lower cost. They also use cheaper materials in the areas that we don't care for. Yeah, my only qualm about this is it's using a daughter board that doesn't seem to have any of the protections that the AI03 design daughter board has, which you know, I think every board should have right now. But at the same time, this does have QMK, it has Vile, it has all that. People in chat were saying that it's nice that the RGB looks so nice, like this. For me, if you ever look at my key maps on QMK, I use RGBs as a way to tell me something about my keyboard, such as what layer I'm at, you know. It's never just used for aesthetic purposes. So for me, this RGB is actually pretty useless because I can't see it. I don't sit in front of a mirror, you know. Usually if like the light is bright enough, you can see it flash. I can't even do that. So for me, this is kind of wasted. This is more just a aesthetic feature. Let's see, expensive doesn't make it a better keyboard. It's all personal preference, but we all know that it's an illusion. We follow hype because we want to avoid any negative confrontation, but that's all just my own opinion. Yeah, no, hype does play a big role in this hobby, but I always maintain, buy what you want because it's your money. Don't let other people tell you what you like or you don't like. Exactly. Well said, Krakenweiss. The question is, do you think it's a good group buy board? I'll be honest, I'm kind of biased towards stuff that's sold on Zenclack just because I feel like a lot of their boards have been gorgeous. And just looking at pictures of this board, I'm just like, yeah, this looks great. This looks beautiful. I'd buy this board. Is it a good group buy board? What is your criteria for that, right? Let's see, criteria I would say would be price-wise. But yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, if price is your only criteria, then, you know, what determines if the price is worth it, right? Like, for example, if you're buying houses in America, or let's say Washington in general, let's say you find a $200,000 home, but it is 200 square feet. You'd be like, that's totally not worth it, right? But $200,000 home, 8,000 square feet. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Right? You literally changed my view on the tenant. Yeah, dude, I traded my tenant. I traded my tenant away just because it was not being used, and, you know, I believe that, you know, people should enjoy their boards rather than just keep them stored up. But yeah, it is 9:20 p.m. here in Seattle, Washington. So I think it's time to end the stream. Just wanted to give a few closing remarks. I really like this board. I'm surprised at how much I ended up liking it. And I was thinking that I wouldn't because of the flex cuts. I just did, and I think it's because I picked a very high-pitched sounding switch. These are Texie Diamonds. Typically speaking, when you have a flex cut and you don't have as much foam in it as like the way that I built it, it's gonna sound too muted. I think by choosing diamonds and not putting the tape mod on it, I still got it to overcome all of that muteness, that mute sound, so it worked out really well for me. So if you guys want to replicate this build and can't find any Texie Diamonds, maybe look for something that's long poled at the very least, and with at least a PC top and PC bottom. But yeah, thanks guys for joining in. My next stream will hopefully be this Sunday. If it is as cool as tonight, then I will be able to successfully survive in this room for an hour. And yeah, hope you guys have a good rest of your week and a good weekend. Alright guys, catch you later. Good night.